Well, this is what we've come to. Washington Commanders wide receiver Terry McLaurin has officially requested a trade. Let's talk about it.
Welcome to Everything Commanders with your host, Dream Team Buddha. Hail to the Commanders.
Okay, Washington Commanders fans, if you will, do your boy a favor. Hit that subscribe button, turn the bell notification on so that way I can keep you in the know with the latest Commander news. Now let's get into this episode. It's official. Wide receiver Terry McLaurin decided that he's tired of playing games. And, this saga been going on for a little while. Well, it seems like forever. He's been trying to get paid since the end of last season. He did what he had to do last year, and he expected the team to handle these contract negotiations as such. So far, it hasn't been so good. Terry started with a holdout, went to a hold-in, and now he's requesting a trade. I got kind of like mixed emotions with this one because I'm not mad at Terry McLaurin at all, right? And also, I'm not mad at AP at all in the Washington Commanders organization. I understand there's a business that has to be run. There's a proper protocol that has to take place when it comes to these contract negotiations. The team is preparing themselves for the future of the team, and Terry McLaurin, or whatever player it may be, is preparing themselves for their future, life after football. We all know Terry McLaurin is going on 30 by the time the season starts, and he'll be 30 years old. And so if they were to do a contract extension, we probably have him under contract for, I want to say, maybe 2 or 3 extra years extension, which means he'll be with us till he's 33-ish or whatever the case may be, entering 34. And maybe that plays a big factor in these contract negotiations. However, the way things work, with the way the the wide receiver market, should I say, is going, you kind of base your numbers off what's happening right before your very eyes. And we've seen all these big contracts that came out with DK Metcalf and Garrett Wilson and all these other wide receivers that have big contracts. Now, although every situation may vary, every situation has its own uniqueness to it. Terry McLaurin balled out last year. Terry McLaurin means a lot to this organization. He means a lot to this fan base. And I believe that the Washington Commanders, Adam Peters, Josh Hurst, and the whole organization understands what he means to us the fans, that is. And I don't think that, they don't care what we think. Their job is to do what's best for the Washington Commanders. If you ask me, what I feel is best for the Washington Commanders is signing Terry McLaurin. Now, in the beginning, I said, get a man what he want, anywhere between 30, 35. And, let's play ball. He's done nothing but been a stand-up guy. He's been in the community. Serving in the community, giving back. He's a leader of the team. He has a great impact on his roster. So I was like, give him what he wants. However, that's not the way things go. And as time been going on, as things been dragged out, I kind of understand where we are. Now, I had to set my emotions to the side and actually, look at this thing from all angles. I knew this was coming. If they didn't get a deal done, I knew he would request a trade. Just when I thought that they would actually get a deal done before they had to get this far. But if you think about it, AP comes from 49ers. Remember, Deebo Samuels was unhappy with his contract. Remember, Brandon Ayuk was unhappy with his contract. Hell, he went on a whole campaign. Talk about trade me. He want to go where he feel he's valued and he's loved. Hell, he was trying to make a campaign to make it here in Washington. But you saw how that worked out. Eventually, they got the deal done. The Commanders roster right now, we have some players on our roster, y'all, that's taking up some money. A good friend of mine, asked me when this news had broke, because I wasn't home, I wasn't in the office. He said, well, who are y'all paying? Why don't y'all just pay Terry McLaurin? And I said, that's a good question. That's a good question. I really couldn't give him the answer to it. But what I said was, I threw some names out there at him. How we traded for Laramie Tunsil. How we, made Deebo Samuel's contract fully guaranteed. And how we gave Javon Kinlaw $45 million for 3 years. And I said, although as I was throwing these names out to him, I was saying to myself, these names and these contracts really shouldn't affect the contract of Terry McLaurin. So I said to myself, damn, that was a good goddamn question. Who are we paying? Why can't we play Terry McLaurin? And then I said, oh, maybe, just maybe, they're preparing themselves for JD5 massive contract in a few years from now. But then I said to myself, well, Buddha, why can't they just get a 3-year deal done? And, so that way once JD5 is up for contract, Terry McLaurin can, then get another contract if you would like, if he's not going to retire, and take something less. And then you know what I said? I'm just going to leave it alone. Because, honestly, if I'm being real, I don't know what the hell is going on. Okay? Because for 1 minute, I want to believe that Adam Peters and the gang is going to get it done. The next minute, I'm believing maybe they are playing hardball. Then you look on the other foot and you say, 1 minute, I think Terry McLaurin wants to be here forever. Regardless of what may transpire, what take place, he's going to make sure that he's a Commander for life. And then he does things like this. Request a trade. Now, I happened to come across a video of some of the Commanders content creators. Shout out to the Commanders Kings. I'll be watching you all somewhat. My boy Ed Oliver and Rio and them, they say, they were speaking on, something I was speaking to a good friend of mine outside of this social media thing. Speaking on the fact of his agent. Like, maybe this case is just too big for his agent. I think his agent is, he kind of like messing it up for Terry. He need to get an agent like David Mulugeta, or whatever his name it is. You know what I'm talking about. That be getting everybody paid. I think he need to get a new agent. Now, I know he's at the end of his career, but I think this process has been drawn out for too long. We all feel like Terry McLaurin is going to get paid by the Washington Commanders. But at the same time, with Terry doing his trade thing, I'm pretty sure it got some of you all feathers ruffled. I see a lot of people mix emotions. He think he too good for the team, and maybe they should let him walk. And he want the money. He don't want the ring. And then you got those people like, well, we love Terry, and we should give him $50 million a year or $40 million a year. Some outrageous number. Pay Terry whatever he want. It does not work like that, y'all. It does not work like that. Don't turn your backs on Terry McLaurin. Terry McLaurin is only doing what he has to do to secure the bag for his future, for his new family. He just got married. I'm sure he got a little one on the way. He's thinking about life after football, y'all, and you should be doing the same. Just imagine you getting that new job and they trying to lowball you. But you got to protect and provide for you and your minis and your wife. You're going to try to get what's best for you, right? Especially if you got a particular set of skills. and you know what value you bring to that new job, you're going to fight for every bit of it, right? Because you feel like if shit hits the fan with your resume, you can go anywhere you want. And don't get it mistaken. It's plenty of teams out here that will take Terry McLaurin on right now. Plenty. This ain't one of them Commanders where he don't got no leverage. Terry McLaurin is a top 10 wide receiver in the NFL, like whether you like it or not. Whether you like it or not. He one of the ones. He just older. And it's like, well, speaking of age, you see the Cortland Sutton deal, and we try to compare it to that, which is two different situations. Then you see the Mike Evans situation, who's, Mike Evans been doing this thing for years. I think 10 straight seasons, 1,000 yards. Terry McLaurin like on his 5th. So it's hard to play the comparison game, apple to apples, apple to oranges types. You really can't do it. This situation, we just have to sit back and wait and see how it transpires, how it unfolds. Because I don't know where they are right now. Do I think Terry McLaurin is going to get traded? No. I don't think they will entertain any type of trade unless a team say, you know what? We finna back up the dump truck and we finna throw out some picks, players, and so forth and so on. Just like Trey Hendrickson in Cincinnati. They ain't really trying to trade him, but you're going to have to give up that bag. Myles Garrett, they ain't really trying to trade him, but you're going to have to give up that bag. They paid Myles Garrett, which puts me in my next point. Most of the athletes lately that been requesting a trade from whatever team they are coming from usually get paid. They don't get traded because the team controls that. It's to the point where you're going to have to sit out a whole year. So it's either you're going to get paid, you're going to get down, or you're going to lay down. One or the other. And I'm hoping that these two can agree to terms and we can get a deal done so we can move on. We can move past it because we need Terry McLaurin on this roster to get this Super Bowl ring. If we trying to get to where we trying to get to, we need Terry McLaurin in that burgundy and gold to help us get to our destinations. Point blank, period. You could be angry and tell yourself, man, Terry McLaurin. We need Terry McLaurin. Stop what you're doing. We need Terry McLaurin. Point blank, period. My only fear is this. I think back with the Deebo Samuels trade, the Deebo Samuels negotiation when he was trying to get paid, the Kyler Murray situation when he had got paid, even Dak Prescott when he got that big old contract, even Brandon Ayuk. Every situation was different. But one thing that's been in common when people hold out, for whatever reason, let me knock on some wood, they seem to get nicked and dinged after that. Now, Terry has been healthy his entire career. And I pray it stays that way. And I hope that the hold-in curse don't get to him. Think about it. Think about the last few people that requested for a trade. I'm hoping that it comes out in favor of the good guys, should I say. But yeah, so I ain't want to be before y'all too long. I just want to talk about the situation because it caught me off guard, but I already knew it was coming. I just didn't know when. I didn't think it would happen right now. Terry McLaurin is coming with his best shit to make sure that he get what he want. Point blank, period. Don't be alarmed. It's still early. The Commanders have to entertain the trades in order for it to happen. It takes two to tangle. Terry McLaurin is still under contract. He's still got 1 year left on his deal. So it's either he's going to sit and hold out and lose money on the season, or the Commanders going to try to, clean up and ask for way too much money for Terry McLaurin. And the team got to be willing to spend it. You got some teams that are willing to spend it, like the Patriots. They got the money. They got the cap. It's a few teams out there. But I know they the ones that will do some off-the-wall stuff just to make sure they can get him. However, Terry McLaurin is not going anywhere. A deal will be reached soon. And if not, we wait. We wait. That's all we can do. But don't lose your marbles on this Terry McLaurin situation. It's all part of the plan. The media eating that shit up like they supposed to. And excuse my French. Anyway, that's going to do it for your boy. If you're new to the channel, and if you haven't already, hit that bell notification. Subscribe to the channel. Turn the bell notification on so that I can keep you in the know with everything Commanders. Long live my brother Rico. I know he would love to see Terry McLaurin signed, contract extended. Long live Rico. Before I go, y'all know what it is. Left hand up. Who are we? The Commanders. Let's get it. Pay the man. Pay the man.